Yo, how you going? This LadyChann, nonetheless, and welcome to Come Box with Shan. Let me just do the banner first. You guys, you know me. I'm always bloody here, there, and everywhere. And then I'm going to introduce you our special returning guest, who I am flattered and humbled. He's my new uncle. Like whether he likes it or not, he's my uncle. He's adopted me. um, Let me just do this banner. Oh, I was just about to say the name, give it away. No, everyone knows anyway, but still, let me do this correctly. LadyChann. Um, Save. Let's make sure it's all right. Save. Have that banner showing. Have that going like that. And then we get to you guys. So, without further ado, I'm introducing, introducing, introducing Uncle Coach Ronnie Shield. Ding, 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 ding. Coach, you are here in the building. Thank you for
Yes,
coming.
I am.
What's going on, Coach? What's happening?
Working every day. Working. Got
I,
fights coming
Coach.
up, so I gotta
Yeah,
work.
coach, we're going to chop it up. Thank you so much for that picture. It's epic, epic. It
Oh,
put a
thank you.
smile on my face. I'm showing all my friends. I'm like, look at this, look at this. They showed it on the Boxing Voice as well. Everyone was gassed. Thanks so much. Do you like the t-shirts?
I
Did
love it.
Jamal like it? Did Jamal like
Yes,
it?
he did. Jamal loved it.
Oh, hopefully he just wears it out until it's all faded, and I'll send him another one. I'll send you one and dial on one. Anything that you guys want, just go on my store, have a look. Say, Shan, I'll have this, and I'll just send it on. Be amazing, because I heard that Jamal was definitely quite fussy of what he puts on or what he would endorse. Everyone's like, he's not going to wear it. He's funny like that. I was like, well, fingers crossed. We got one more. We got one more twin to go. We're gonna have
That's
to
right.
holler at Derek. We're gonna have to holler at Derek James over there. We're gonna have to send him one, won't we? Just to make him feel all right and included.
That, I get him. I'll catch up to him one day.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. With all you, Dylon, and the twins in the picture, all in the t-shirt. That would be. I'd frame it. That would be hung up in my house. Definitely.
Oh,
It's,
okay.
it's amazing. No, thank you very much, Coach, for wearing it.
No problem.
So, where are we going to start? So, where we're going to start is there's a few places where we can start. Okay, so where we left off, let's start where we left off. AJ, what is
Okay.
going on? Because we are now hearing rumblings that he's returning to see Eddie Reynoso. He is in the US, isn't he?
Oh, I have no idea.
I just
I
looked
haven't
at his
spoken.
Instagram. Yeah, it looks like
Yeah,
he's in the US. It looks sunny. It's not sunny here, I tell you that. It's like 36 degrees, coach. 36
I know
degrees.
it's cold, right?
Yep, very cold. So wherever he is, it's definitely in the States. We heard that he's gone back for another visit to Eddie Reynoso, and everyone's like, why? Why hasn't he gone back to? Have you not heard from his team? Or are you allowed to
No,
say anything?
no, no. I mean, I just, just talk back and forth to him, just on certain things, but no, nothing concrete yet.
Hmm. Hmm. And this is what I'm panicking about, because whoever he goes with, he needs to get into training ASAP. He's got a fight in literally a 12, 16 weeks.
Yeah,
What
but
can, like,
I mean,
yeah,
that's still a lot of time. So
I know, but it's against a mark. Remember, it's not against Ruiz, coach. It's not a Ruiz.
yeah, I know.
It's the
No,
master.
look, it's a tough fight, but look, and is an experienced fighter. You know,
Yeah.
he's still just he still have to learn some new things, and that's going to help him. And I'm pretty sure he catches on pretty good. So
Yeah, he
I
is
don't
good
know.
at
So
that.
we'll just have to wait and see who we go with first before we can,
Yeah.
you know,
See
see
what's
what
up.
happens.
I thought Reynoso would be not an option because of the language barrier. You're going to have to use a translator to translate. You know, it's just a bit more effort, to be honest.
Well, you know, look, I've trained guys that didn't speak English, and
Oh.
you know, and I didn't have a translator. You know,
Yeah, you just
guys
was like jab.
understand.
It was like jab, left, right,
Yeah,
hook.
that's right. That's right.
Yeah. But
You
what
know,
about
but
when
you
you're
know,
trying to teach footwork to someone that doesn't speak your language?
no, I mean, but you just show them. You just show them,
Mm.
and you know, look, this is boxing. They catch on. Boxing
Yeah.
has its own language.
Yeah. I just thought the whole Mexican vibe and going where Andy Ruiz is, it's a bit of a conflict of interest. You might have to fight Ruiz again. Then you're going to be sparring Ruiz. Ruiz is going to know certain chinks in each other's armor. And then you might have to fight Frank Sanchez as well, because he's an up and coming heavyweight. To me,
Yeah.
it just doesn't make sense. Just go to Uncle Coach. Just go to Uncle Ronnie, man. Damn, it's easy decision. You've did a fight. You've actually made a champ out of someone that was a cruiserweight into heavyweight. You're the perfect person. He's fighting a Ukrainian Evander Holyfield.
Yeah,
You've got
exactly.
experience. So yeah, it just doesn't make sense to me. I hope you get the call. You should text Eddie and just be like, "Yo, what's up?" Because I need to know my schedule. That's it. We ain't got time to just be waiting at the drop of the hat for you. Like, you either come in or you're not. You got to be a bit
Yeah,
ruthless.
that's right.
Where could you see Eddie Reynoso helping him? How could you see that? What does Eddie Reynoso provide that you could see that would help Joshua?
Well, I mean, really and truly, I don't know because uh, I don't know. I mean, you know, I don't know him that well. I've never really had to study him until I had Erislandy Lara fight, you know, when
Mm-hmm.
he fought Canelo,
Yeah,
you know, but, you know, and I've seen some of the things that he do, but with the heavyweights, you know, you know, he just got these other guys, Frank Sanchez and
mm-hmm.
and
Ruiz.
and Andy Ruiz.
Mm.
So, and with Ruiz, you know, you saw the last fight with him.
We saw that
He,
outcome.
yeah,
This is what
he
I'm
looked the
saying.
same. Yeah, he still looked the same though. But it's gonna be hard to, you know, it's hard to get a guy when you first get him to just do exactly what you want because he's so
Yeah,
used to doing something
else.
else. But
Yeah,
it takes time. It takes time to mold a guy into
yeah,
what you want him to do.
yeah.
You
That's
know,
right.
but you have to work on the things that the guys do best, and then keep adding stuff that you do, and
Yeah,
then you know, and then they'll get used to it.
yeah. Well, for me, mate, like Andy Ruiz when he was under Manny Robles, that's how he trained Ruiz and he got the belts from Joshua. Then you
Right,
left Manny Robles, and then you went to obviously you went to Reynoso and you fought Ariola and got dropped in the first like 10 seconds. Like
right.
no punch resistance. I'm sorry, I'm not. I haven't got time to go to you. You're eliminated just off the cusp. No disrespect, you're eliminated. It just doesn't make any sense to me. No sense at all. None. None. And what about is it Robert Garcia?
Yeah, Robert Garcia.
Do you see him being able to do anything?
Well,
No.
you know, I've been knowing Robert a long time.
Mm-hmm.
He's a he was a good fighter. You know,
Yeah.
he was a world champion, and he has, you know, I mean, he's coached a lot of smaller guys, younger
Mm-hmm.
guys. You know, the training heavyweights are different. You know, you
Exactly.
can't train a heavyweight the way you train
A
smaller
middleweight.
guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Because the
know, it just
punch
don't work.
output's different.
Yes,
Everything's
everything
different.
is so different. You know,
Mm.
everything is so different. So, you know, and with that experience, you know, you can't make them do certain things that you make the smaller guys do. And if
Yep.
you never had that experience, you know, it's gonna be tough.
What about is it Virgil Hunter?
Yeah, Virgil.
Do you
Well,
think
you
he could
know,
do anything good? He
I
just
don't
had
know.
Andre Ward
Yeah, you know, look, Andre Ward was, you know, he was already
polished.
like, Yeah, he was a polished fighter.
Yeah.
So he didn't. It didn't. I think I think anybody could have trained Andre
Yeah.
Ward, and he still would have been what
Been
he is. But
outstanding. Yeah.
but again, Virgil was with him his whole career. So
Yeah.
obviously he did a lot with him, and but Andre was a natural. He was a natural fighter. You know,
Yeah. And he
and
was still not a heavyweight. He was like
no,
super middle
yes,
and then he
exactly,
went to
smaller
light
guy,
heavy to do Kovalev. And I think
absolutely.
he just had like 3 fights at like 175, and then he retired. 2 or 3 fights, maybe just 2.
Yes, yes,
Yeah. And then
but
retired.
yeah, but look, it takes a lot of work in the gym, and obviously Virgil put a lot of work in with Andre Ward, and
Hmm.
they got the outcome. But Andre Ward probably was the only guy that he's had success with. So
This is this is
you
what I'm
know,
saying. So out of all you guys, to me, it's a no-brainer to choose you. Like, it's a no-brainer. I don't get someone needs to speak to Joshua, because he's not listening to any of us. He's not listening. You're not listening to the game plan should be changed. You're not you're not listening, AJ. Yeah, I just don't know who's around him. Yeah, I no disrespect to all those other coaches because they're all epic, but Freddie Roach, that wouldn't make that would that make sense?
well, I mean, Fred is a Hall of Fame trainer, and
Yes.
but he haven't had much success with heavyweight. So
Nope.
I don't know.
Nope. Nope. And who else is like left at this point? Like, really, like, out of the bunch that we've named, is there anybody else that you could think of left field that could possibly
Uh,
be good?
no, I think we named everybody that he was considering. So
Hmm. And then over here in the UK, we've got all these disgruntled UK trainers like, oh, Joshua don't need to go to America to train to get better. He could stay here. He could stay here. No, bud, staying here is why he's reached the end of the stay here. He needs to go. Everyone else from the UK, they go. Lennox Lewis, he went. He left.
yeah,
Even
absolutely,
Klitschko, he left.
yeah,
And they all improved
absolutely,
10 times. All
yeah.
improved.
The
Yes.
thing about it, some people wait too late,
Yeah.
you know, to try to start their career in the
Yeah.
States. I mean, 'cause there's a lot of stuff that we do, that's a little bit different than what you do in the UK.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but it's all about learning, and it's about teaching, and knowing how to do certain things,
Yeah.
and getting the fighter to believe that, and to be able to try different things.
Yeah.
That's gonna be the key. If
Yeah.
he's willing and able to try do things, then you know that can really help his game plan.
Yeah. Have you ever seen a US fighter leave a US coach and say, right, I'm going to the UK, I'm getting a UK coach now?
No, I've never seen that before.
See, that tells you that means it's stepping down, really.
Well,
Wow.
I don't look. We all come up different, doing different things, but
Hmm.
I think we've had more success in the U.S. than
Yep.
probably in any other country.
Yep.
So obviously we're doing something right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. I'm just been trying to figure it all out. Like, did you see the interview in the end with Joshua? Did the hour-long interview?
Uh, I seen one interview, and I think I might have seen that. That's the one he said about Rob McCracken, that he was going to keep him on the team or something.
What did you think
See that?
about that?
Well, you got to see how that work out with anybody that he chooses. You know, you I guess we would have to sit down with him, and see what he can bring to the table. Because obviously something has to change. And is he
Mhm.
going to be willing to listen to another coach?
Would you
And
be willing to like co-coach with someone else?
well, I don't know.
Like Rob?
I would have to see his views first. You know.
I think it doesn't make sense. Like if you're starting from scratch, everyone's fired. Everyone, you can't keep stale bread with the fresh bread. It's just going to make the fresh bread stale. You got to, if you're starting again, you start again. You don't keep. Oh, I'm going to keep this guy. This one's the head. Head means there's only one. We've only got one head. The rest of us is limbs. We're branches. It's the branches. A tree's only got one trunk, and he's saying Rob McCracken's still going to be head coach, but he's looking for this one. That one's going to be head, and this one's head. Oh, I've got a small team, but you've got an entourage of about 20 people, and they're all head. How does that work?
Well, you know, I mean, I don't know. You know,
I know you're diplomatic,
like I say,
coach.
that's just something that, you know, it has to be discussed, you know, because I'm not sure if I can accept the job that, you know, somebody is trying to tell me what to do.
Exactly.
You know,
especially an amateur coach. You'd be like, sorry, I'm a Hall of Famer out here. Sorry, that can't work. That's exactly that. That can't work. So and then he alluded to the fact that maybe he doesn't want to be based in the States, that he'd probably go around, get some tips, and then bring it back to the UK. It just doesn't make sense.
But you know, it takes more than tips. It takes a lot of work in the gym.
And why doesn't he want a base in the US for camps?
Well, he you know, basically he would have to base himself here for a couple of months at least in order to, you know, get the things right that need to be corrected, you know, and he would have to be willing to do that. You know, I don't think he would think that, you know, you can go over there and, you know, he need a change of scenery. He need everything to be so
clean
he can.
Slate.
Yes, you know, he need a clean slate. That's exactly right. He need a clean slate, and if he can't accept a clean slate, it's gonna be hard for anybody to deal with that.
Exactly. What's the point of coming to the States if you don't want to be based there for camps? Like he's saying that basically he would just like go and see what he can bring back because he's UK all day and he's not basing in the States. Why did you go? Why are you going to the States? And even if you want to collect tips, at least even though that's lame, but even if you want to collect tips, just collect tips from one person. Don't go to 4 different coaches and then take on all these multiple tips. That's confusion.
Yeah, I mean it is, but you know, I mean, I would have to sit down first, and you know, before I would say yes to anything, and make sure that you know where my position is, and you know, I mean, I'm a head coach. I'm not a assistant coach.
Say that again. Say that again, Uncle Ronnie. Say it again.
I'm a head coach. I'm not an assistant coach.
Thank you very much, AJ. I hope you're listening to this interview as we talk, because Coach Ronnie is not an assistant to Rob McCracken. And then when he was asked about the game plan, he said, "You will have to ask my team what the game plan was." Like totally, like deflecting it, like he was either A, embarrassed, or B, like maybe like I don't know. I don't get why he would say, "Ask my team what the game plan was." We're interviewing you. What was the game plan? You've already fought now. You can tell us what the game plan was. Was it to outbox the boxer? Yay or nay?
Right.
Yeah. It's just a lot of things just didn't make sense. And did you also hear about him asking the security guard for tips on the way to the fight in the tunnel, just as he was going on his ring walk? So the security guard, he'd seen he was in boxing, but he opened like his own security firm after being in boxing, and he'd seen Usyk fight live 3 times, and he was in like the tunnel or towards more where you got to the ring, and Anthony Joshua said to him, "Have you got any tips on how to beat Usyk?"
Wow.
That's wild.
That is wild.
That is what. Like that means you had no confidence in what you was doing at all.
It didn't sound like it.
I've never heard anyone do that in my life. Yeah, and even if he did say a tip, yeah, give him the left hook. Like, is it really going to work now? Like, it just nothing makes sense. It's so frustrating when you root for someone and you want to see them do so well, but everything that they're showing you, it just doesn't make any sense. It's just none of it made sense. So
Yeah, in this sport, you got to be fully prepared for everything.
yeah,
That's why you got to do your homework.
yep. And he said he doesn't want to be just looking at film tapes on the fighter. That's what his team's supposed to do. But they was making him look at film and film and film on Usyk. And that's not, is that correct? Is that not really his job to do so?
Well, it's not really his job to do so as far as when you're putting a game plan together. But I think when you are in the gym and there's certain things that you see, you have to make a fighter understand what you're telling him. If he don't understand what you're telling him, it's going to be very difficult for you to teach him
Yeah.
certain things that he need to do.
So he has to do some due diligence of looking at some film himself.
Absolutely. Look, here's the thing. He's the one in the ring.
Exactly.
He's the one that's fighting.
Exactly.
He has the punches coming at him. Nobody else has the punches coming at them but him.
Right.
He has to know when to make changes.
Yeah.
Yes. But if you have to make changes, this is what you train for, to make changes. If some things aren't going right, then you have to correct it. You have to make it right. So it is more to it than just listening to what the coach says. He has to know exactly what to look for, and then when he see it, he has to know exactly when to take it. The coach can't tell him to take something when punches are coming at him. We're not in there. He's the one in there. Yeah. He has to make changes when it's time to make changes. If things are going good, keep them going good. But if the other guy makes you change something, then you have to know when to change.
Right. And he said that basically that when you're in the ring, you don't really get to see like if you're doing bad or good because it's a different perception there. So you may think that you're doing really well and the whole time that you're not. But that's for when you go back to the corner, your team is then supposed to relay an update and say, no, buddy, you're doing rubbish. You're down on the cards, like plan B now. But if you haven't got your team saying that and you are in the ring thinking that you're doing well, how are you in the ring thinking that you're doing? Because you as a fighter, have you ever been in the ring thinking that you was doing better than you was?
Oh, absolutely not. The thing about it is this, right? Mm-hmm. As a trainer, you have to be absolutely honest with your fighter.
Right.
If he's losing, you got to tell him he's losing. Simple. That's that.
Point blank period.
And so you got to light a fire under him to let him know, okay, we got to do something different. You got to pick it up. You got to show me something because you're down on the cards.
Right.
And it's just, you can't sugarcoat anything. Everything got to be upfront.
Right.
And, and I'm really honest with my guys.
Yeah.
I never tell them they was winning and I know they losing.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't do anybody any good.
Any justice. Yeah.
None whatsoever.
But this is the worrying thing. Like everyone innately has kind of got a switch in them that knows that something's gone wrong. And if he doesn't have that switch, even though he's gone back to the corner and they're saying, oh, you're doing well. Why doesn't he have that switch to tell himself like, no, this isn't going well? That's worrying.
Let me tell you something. Yeah. Any fighter that don't know if he's winning or losing, that's a problem.
This is what I'm saying.
Because then he's not going to listen to the trainer, because if the trainer is telling him to do something different and he thinks he need to keep doing the same thing that he's doing, then that's a problem. Yeah. Somebody got a lot of fire in his butt and says, let's go.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to win, you got to change everything. You
Yeah.
got to, but this is why, you have certain things you have to do in the gym that's going to, light a fire under the fighter to make him understand that, look,
You ain't
if you
come to
want to
play.
win,
Yeah.
you got to put it all, you got to leave it all in the ring. Simple as that. And look, I've been with guys that, nobody is happy when they lose. But if you know you did everything that you're supposed to do and you lose,
Then
the
you're all
other guy
right.
was just better.
Yeah.
Simple as
Yeah.
that. The
Yeah.
other guy was just better.
It's
You
not
know,
about losing, it's how you lose.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was half-hearted performance, so therefore you lost. So you can't feel happy with that. No one's happy with a loss, but at least if you went guns blazing and you still lost, then you'd be like, you know what, I put every effort in there, but I still lost because the other guy was better. But what I'm saying, if you've got a team that every time you go back to the corner and they're saying that you've done well and you lost, why would you still want to keep that trainer on?
Well, everybody has a reason for something, for doing things. And I don't know what that reason is. But,
Yeah.
I mean, look, this is his career. This is his decision
Yeah.
of how he wants his career to go. So, but, you just got to hope everybody get along with each other and that it works out. Simple as that.
That's what he said. He said, "Oh, if it doesn't work out, they will have to leave. Like if they can't get along, then people would have to leave." But my whole point is prevention is better than cure. Like from the gate, you're supposed to be like, this is your position. You're the head. You're the assistant, and that's it. So there's no heads butting and nobody having to change up a team with everybody arguing in a team mid camp. That just doesn't make sense.
No, look, I've seen that situation happen before,
Mm-hmm.
and look, it's not a pretty situation.
No.
I've been on the other end of that before, when I've worked with somebody and the other guy didn't, he didn't like it, so he had the fighter to make a choice. Then when the fighter did make his choice to stay with me, then you know it causes friction. you
Yeah,
know.
friction. Yeah.
But the thing about it is, this is the business, you know,
Mhm.
and I know how to handle my business, and I'm gonna do what I do best.
Yep. Yep. That's facts. Thank you, Donald Banks, for the $2 super chat. Hello, Shan and Mr. Shields. Happy Thanksgiving. Yep. Thank you very much for that. Thank you. Yep. Yeah. Oh, gosh. It just doesn't make sense for me. I'm a logical person, and in the interview, he went on to say he knows what he's supposed to do now. He's supposed to impose his size and he knows now that's what he should have done. So how do you know that? Why didn't you know that before? We all knew it, and we're not boxers. You was, but people from sitting on their couch to the upper echelons in the boxing industry all knew what the game plan should have been. Like, why? We could go around in circles, forget it. Like, he just didn't know. He just didn't know. It's just like moving along swiftly with him. Okay, so this question now. So with Jamal, there's a bit of friction going on with him calling out Canelo and people saying he's not fighting who's in his weight category, i.e., Andrade. Why aren't they fighting their two champs? Why am they not making the fight? You could
You
tell us.
know, I've told a story plenty of times. You
Sorry.
know, no. But you probably didn't hear it in the
Yeah,
UK.
I didn't. It didn't
So
cross the waters.
here's the thing: when I was training Jamal and Jamel,
Yeah,
you know, I had Jamel all the way up to rank like number 4 in the world, number 5, something like that in the
yeah,
world.
yeah.
And Jamel was going to fight Andrade.
Oh, when is that
Everybody,
54?
yeah, 154.
Yeah,
Everybody signed the contracts. Contracts were signed and everything, right? So, like a week before the fight, or maybe 2 weeks before the fight,
Yeah.
Andrade pulled out because he left his promoter and signed with Jay-Z's Rock Nation.
So why didn't they
And
still fight?
and so what I heard was that Jay-Z didn't want him to fight on Al Heyman's card because,
Oh
he
yeah,
didn't want
because of their
to fight.
relationship that they had. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And so Andrade pulled out of the fight.
Oh gosh.
And
Yeah.
so and that made Jamal mad, it made Jamal mad, made
Yeah.
everybody mad. And
Actually, I did
so,
actually hear this story. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
so they say, you know what? They would never ever give him an opportunity to make money off of them.
Oh, that's it then. So so that fight will never get made with either of them. But even though Jamal's at 54 and Andrade's now at 60, Jamal's never going to entertain fighting Andrade.
Because of what he did to his brother.
Yeah. Oh shit. So there's no way going around that then. So who else would you think that where's Benavidez? Is Benavidez, he's at 60. Is he at 60?
68.
Is he at 68? So is there any, wouldn't it just be better if Jamal just moved up? Because instead of calling out someone from one, like, hello, up there, like, I want to fight you, you're gonna have to go up there and then call him out,
Right.
Isn't
Well,
there any? Yeah,
like he wants to fight Canelo. And just like
everyone does.
everybody does. But now Canelo is talking about fighting as a cruiserweight. So
Yeah.
I mean, look, we just have to wait and see where the chips fall. We can't say where we're gonna go. I just see now the WBC just made Jaime Manguia he's the mandatory now.
Yeah.
And the deal was he was supposed to fight the guy that we fought not too long ago, Sergey Deverenchenko.
Yeah,
They
that's
were,
what
they
I
were
thought
supposed
he
to
was
fight
going to
each
fight.
other, but now I saw after the convention, they said no, they're going to let Manguia be the mandatory. So I don't know. So we have to see what happens, how that works itself out.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I don't know yet.
Because who's left to who's the other champs at 60? So we've got
Well, you got Triple G.
Andrade,
You
we've got
got
Triple
Triple
G.
G. He's there. And
Yeah.
then you got the guy from Japan. He's there. The one who Triple G is supposed to be fighting.
His name's just evaded me.
Yeah, it's abandoned me.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yes.
So Triple G has the IBF. He has the IBF belt.
Yes.
Yeah. So there's no way. Is there any way possible that Jamal could fight Triple G after Triple G gets through his Mando or whatever?
You know what? I have no idea because Triple G, he's waiting to fight Canelo also.
Yeah,
he's
we've
ready.
seen that twice.
He's ready to fight. He's ready to fight the rubber match. So, but not the
everyone
rubber match, but it was
yeah,
a draw and then a win for Canelo. So I don't know. We just everybody. I don't know. Everybody's waiting on Canelo, but he's all over the place. He's going up to cruiserweight. Who knows? It might come back down and want to go to light heavyweight again. I mean, who knows? I mean, we don't know what he wants to do.
But you can't wait on Canelo. This is what I'm saying.
No,
in the meantime, you've got to just make fights.
Yeah. So, I mean, you can't avoid your mandatory.
Yeah.
So you have to fight your mandatory. So, So maybe it's going to be Manguia. I mean, I don't know. I'm just a trainer in all of this.
Yeah, I know. it's just all political, isn't it? Politics and
absolutely.
This side of the street and that side of the street, and it's just ridiculous. So it may just be better because it feels like 160 is a bit of a dormant, stale weight division at the minute, and it may be better to just move up to 68. And in the meantime, if you get Canelo, if he comes back to 68, which I doubt because he's already been undisputed there. But just fight people at 68 instead. And
Yeah, I mean, you know, it could be, you know, look, I don't know how much longer Jamal can hold 160 anyway.
yeah,
So that's just a wait and see thing. But, you know, if he does go up to 168, then, you know, there's plenty of fights up there. So,
yeah.
so we just have to wait and see what
Wait and
happens.
see. Yeah. And then, okay, so then also, I know you don't train him anymore, but you got Jamel, obviously, with the Brian Castano situation
Yeah.
that happened. I'm hearing is there a rematch being set for that?
Well, I saw where the WBO said that they would, you know, let Castano go up and fight him in a rematch. But the IBF ordered the mandatory, I think, for Jamel to fight the Russian kid.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
And the
so
IBF don't play. If you don't fight, the Mando
no,
don't strip
absolutely.
you. They just
Yeah,
strip you.
you know, because the kid stepped aside, you know, in the last fight and let them fight, you
Yeah,
know.
for undisputed.
So,
Yeah.
so he's not going to step aside again, I don't believe. You know,
Mm,
he did make a lot of money off of that, though, stepping aside. And then he
yeah.
got the chance to fight also. So, and this is like 2 times in a row that they
Yeah.
did that. So I
Yeah.
know this kid won his opportunity. So I don't think they'll step aside again.
Yeah, really. And what do you think about the WBC right now? How they're like, you do you know the Dillian White situation with Tyson Fury and all of that debacle?
Well, you know, I read a little bit about it, but you know, I don't know.
Do you want
You
me
know,
to
I
give
know
you the rundown?
Tyson Fury don't. You know, I don't know if he has a mandatory, or they saying that. I
He
mean, I
does.
don't know.
He
They
does.
all
So
over the place.
Dillian White, he fought like title eliminators to become. He's now
Right,
the WBC interim champ. He's got the diamond belt, so he's
right,
the number one Mando for anybody that holds the WBC obviously the super belt, whatever. They're
right,
just the
right.
supers regulars like the WBA. So he is supposed to fight whoever's got the WBC belt, and that is
That's
now
true.
Tyson Fury,
Yes,
and he was supposed to fight Deontay Wilder while he was the champ, but they froze him out for.
right.
He's been frozen out for 3 years, but he's been
Wow.
paying sanctioning fees, and they won't put him in the position to have the title fight. So he's taken them to arbitration. Yet again,
Yeah.
arbitration mediation. I've never heard of these words until boxing, this back-to-back arbitrations. So
No,
he's taken them.
I've heard of it before. People have done that.
Yeah. So he's taken them to arbitration, saying that, I'm paying sanctioning fees, but basically you're not giving me the shot. So,
Right,
so what they did was, this is the sly move that for some reason, I don't think the WBC like Dillian White. I don't know what the reason is, but they just don't. So they said to him, obviously you've got to wait 30 days to see if Tyson Fury can make the undisputed fight with Usyk. But we all know that Usyk's on doing a rematch with
right,
Joshua. So they
right,
still had to wait the 30 days. And then everybody assumed that they would sanction the fight with Tyson Fury. So they did the 30 days and then they went to the convention. And what did the WBC say? Oh, you're suing us. So we can't put you in a title fight because you're suing us. Yeah, but I'm suing you because you're not putting me in a title fight. If you knew the whole time that all I had to do was drop the lawsuit and you would have put me in the title fight, why didn't you just tell me, drop the lawsuit and we'll put you in a title fight? So
right.
they're just dragging it out in arbitration and won't let him fight Tyson Fury. It's
Oh, that's crazy.
it's fucking, sorry, excuse my language. It's effing ridiculous. So now
Yeah,
Tyson Fury, who doesn't want to fight Dillian White anyway, because Dillian White comes with the smoke out here, yeah,
right,
and it's basically they're aiding him to be able to duck. That's what it is. So Tyson Fury's like, I want to fight in February, and the only two people I want to fight is either Usyk or Joshua, knowing that they're tied up. But
right,
but but before the Wilder fight, he said, after I beat Wilder, I want to fight Dillian White. Now in interviews, he's avoiding the question, doesn't want to answer the questions about Dillian White. I just don't get it. It's just ridiculous. But you're taking my money, and the minute I miss a
right.
sanctioning fee, you take me off the rankings.
Yeah,
It's ridiculous.
he definitely can take him to court,
Yeah.
and he just got to find a judge that knows
I
the
mean,
truth and
yeah,
and know what the rules are.
yeah.
You know, and a lot of times these sanctioning bodies, they go against their own rules all the time. They do.
They make
So
them up as they go along. Yeah,
absolutely, they're making a lot of money.
this is what I'm saying. So Dillian White is now frozen out again, and then so you've got to see what the outcome of the arbitration is. But Tyson Fury says, "I'm not waiting for the outcome of the whatever the decision is because I want to fight in February." So it has to be. So they've gone down the list, and the next person is Joe Joyce, who's only like 13 and 0, and
Right.
Tyson Fury's like, "I don't want to fight Joe Joyce either."
Yep.
So mate, what, like, you're holding the belt hostage at this point. You
Yeah,
you
you don't
should
want
be
to fight him.
strict.
You want to fight who he wants to fight.
Yeah,
You know, he's like everybody else. He gotta go by the rules, just like the WBC have to go by their own rules.
but they're not going. But this is what I'm saying: is the WBC's not going by the rules. So Tyson, it fits
Exactly.
Tyson Fury quite nicely. So he really he could nip this all in the bud and say to the WBC, or the WBC has said to him, you can have a voluntary. All he has to say is, all right, my voluntary is Dillian White,
Right.
and then would fight. But he doesn't want the fight.
Yeah, you don't want to fight him. I guess he sees something in Dylan White that he doesn't like.
Do you think bars? Do- do- You're gonna come out with a rap album like Roy Jones Jr. Oh gosh. Um, do you see Dillian White being able to beat Tyson Fury? I do.
Look, he's strong enough,
Hmm.
and it's not like you have to go look to hit, you know, look to hit Fury. Fury can be hit. Deontay
Hmm.
Wilder proved that.
Yep,
And if you can hit him, back to back to back, and maybe that's what they're afraid of.
for sure. For sure. That it's. I think it's like for him a high risk, low reward because he'll lose the belt.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and then Dillian White, and then if Dillian White wins that belt, then basically Dillian White can then fight Alexander, whoever's the winner out of Usyk and Joshua. He can fight for them for undisputed, and
Right.
then yeah, and then go from there. So if Joshua wins, we'd have two heavyweight champions in the UK again, and they would have to
Wow.
face off. They would have to face off again because Joshua already beat Dillian White before.
Yes. Yes.
So I don't know. It's like a jigsaw puzzle. I don't know what's going to happen there. And then we've
Right.
got Tank Davis. What do you think about this rubbish?
Well, look.
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell
again,
you
very
something though.
in the
That
world.
kid, Isaac Cruz, is a good fighter.
He's a
I don't.
126 pounder though,
Yeah,
really.
and that's the thing. He's a smaller guy, but look, when you have something happens and somebody fall out, you know, it's tough. It's tough to get other guys to just come in and say, "Okay, I'll take the fight." You
Devin
know,
Haney said he would.
of course, then that Devin Haney said he was, but look, I mean, I don't know. Maybe his people didn't want to fight. I don't know.
They said they
You
want
know,
to keep
it's
it in house, only PBC that Tank's allowed to fight. What a load of
yeah,
rubbish. What
yeah.
a
That's
load.
just that's a sport. When you had a good fight with the kid Rolly, I thought that was gonna be a decent fight.
Me too.
You know,
I was excited. Rolly was going to get knocked out, but it would have been fun
yeah,
seeing that because of the
yeah,
build up was so
absolutely,
amazing. He would have got knocked out,
absolutely,
but at least it would have been entertaining to watch.
yeah,
I Pitbull. It's
yeah.
too
I think
easy.
he's just a little bit too small for Tank. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
and but I don't know. It's all up to the networks too. When you're trying to put on a fight like that, you have to do what the networks say because it's their money.
And
They the
what
one.
Floyd Mayweather says as well.
Yeah, well, again, it's all, they've made a lot of money with Floyd. So, of course, they're going to listen to Floyd, to
Yeah.
listen to what he says. So, so now it's Isaac Cruz. So, you know, but I never say never because in the sport of boxing, you never know what happens.
Upsets galore.
Absolutely.
Imagine if he won.
Hey,
Imagine if he won.
it'll be a great upset, right? Just like in anything, in any sport,
Hmm.
football, basketball, baseball,
Hmm.
you have upsets.
Yeah, but at
It
least you can
happens.
share it with the team. It's just not
Yeah.
on you. Like we all failed. We all failed.
But
So it's
it,
fruit
it
failure.
happens in boxing too now. We've had
Yeah, that's why it looks
a lot of
worse when
upsets
it's
in
in boxing.
boxing
Yeah, but
also. So I mean, look at when Ruiz, he upset Joshua. A lot of people didn't think that could happen, but
yeah,
it
that was
did.
a massive upset.
So,
Yeah,
you just never know whose night is going to be.
yeah, yeah.
You got to prepare no matter who's in front of you.
Right.
And if you don't prepare the right way, you're going to lose. Simple as
Mhm.
that.
Yeah, and that would be a massive upset. So okay, so Tank's not fighting Rolly's fighting Isaac Cruz. That's going to be on pay-per-view. It's just like I'm so not buying it. I'm not buying it. I'm not. No, I'm just not. Sorry, I'm not. Everybody else you can buy it, but I'm not. Yeah, I refuse to pay for fights. Continuously paying for fights that I don't want to see. That I know that.
Right.
Yeah, just yeah. I'll catch it on the flip side when it's free on YouTube.
There you go.
Yeah, you got to, like, at the end of the day, like, the audience, you still have to cater for your audience.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
we don't,
Absolutely.
yeah, we don't want to see like unfair one-sided kind of fights that you're going to fight a 126 pounder. Everyone that you've beat have been little people, little guys. Leo
Right.
Santa Cruz, we know the outcomes of this. Like, we don't want to keep see, and you're making us pay as well to see it, which is
Right.
the audacity of it. And Floyd didn't go, Floyd fought the best that was available to him, so I don't understand why he's mining Tank this. I don't understand why he's making Tank do this route. Tank's a knockout artist. He can beat
Yeah.
everyone in 35. Everyone.
Absolutely. I agree with you. He can. And but I don't know,
Network.
everybody have a plan, I guess.
Till they get punched in the
And
mouth. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
No, I mean, but look, as a promoter, you gotta have a plan for your fighter.
Hmm.
But when the other fight fell out, I mean, I don't know who all they asked. I don't know. Is Isak True's the only one to say yes? Maybe the money wasn't right. I mean,
Hmm.
it's a lot of things that go into this. It's not
Right.
just they just say, okay, it's gonna be Isak Cruz. I'm sure they offered a lot of other guys to fight. Maybe some guys didn't think it paid enough. I mean, I don't know. You got to understand that this is a business also.
Yeah.
Within a
Yeah.
business, fighters have to look out for themselves doing this business too. You
Yeah.
can't just, say, okay, I know it's gonna be a good fight, but if it's, what are my options? Am I, and a lot of people don't like the options, what a fight is gonna be, you know,
Was it like
you
this
know.
back in the day? Like, so political back in when obviously Don King was
It's
just ripping
it's
everyone off.
always been political. The thing is that, you didn't have as many big promoters as you have now. You didn't
Right.
have all the networks that you have now. So, guys really didn't have a choice but to try to, when you want to make money in the sport, and that's what the sport is about, you have to, you know, back then it was only like one network, and that was HBO. And
Yeah.
everybody flocked to HBO. Everybody wanted to be there because that's where the money was. And that's why you never had problems with people getting fights. But
Yeah.
now, now you got
Too many
H,
options.
you don't have HBO
You don't have
anymore.
HBO
You only
anymore.
have Showtime. You have ESPN.
Fox.
You have the Zone. You have
Mhm.
Triller.
Yeah.
You have all these. People
Matchroom,
are,
Zone. Yeah.
yeah,
Boxer.
are just, they renting a satellite and just doing their own pay-per-views.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of different options now, but it's still not a lot of money going certain options. You know, so everybody want to be seen on the best network, but at the same time, you know, it's difficult though because you know I guess the brass that makes it happen You
Yeah.
know, they have to put on good fights that, you know, they want to keep their job too. So, you know, these people aren't going to be paying out money just to anybody.
But don't the boxers want to fight the best fights to create legacy?
Absolutely. I mean, you do, but still, you know, it's not up to the fighter. You know, you got to go through so many other people. You know, you have to if you have a manager, you got to go through the manager.
But
The
you're the
manager,
boss.
well, you may think you're the boss.
Mm,
You
that's
may
right.
think you're the boss, but
You're
you know,
not.
you're the boss of certain things. But
Yeah.
you know, the thing about it is, you have to the manager has to go through the promoter. The promoter has to go through whoever has the
The
network.
the network.
And you know, and then you trying to get as much money for your fighter as possible. And sometimes you may think they would offer you a great deal, but you know, if it ain't worth it, then you know you're going to say
Yeah.
no. You're going to
Yeah.
turn it down because they may want to give all the money to, you know, to the main fighter and don't give the opponent nothing. I've seen that a lot of times, and the guy says it's not worth it for me to do that.
Yeah. So it's yeah, again all politics.
Absolutely.
Jeez, Louise. Okay, so that's Tank. Who else is next, Coach? So you saw the Crawford and Porter fight, and you called
Yes.
it for Crawford to win in the late rounds. No, you said it was going to the decision.
Decision. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
thought it was going to a decision as well. But
It was headed that way, you know, just,
yeah,
you know, I was at a place that I couldn't hear. There was just too many people. But, you know, but from what I saw, you know, I thought it was a good fight going
yeah,
to all the way to the stoppage, actually. You know, look, we all knew Sean Porter was going to put up a fight. You
yeah,
know, that's just his heart, you know. The guy fights with his heart.
yeah, he
And
does.
And, you know, so we all knew that. But look, we also all knew that what kind of fighter Trevor Crawford is. You know,
Yeah,
he's one of the best pound for pound fighters in the world. You know, and you know, you can't take nothing away from him. He doesn't care who he fights. And, you know, he's gonna be prepared and ready for any and everybody. So we
yeah,
all knew that going in. But, you know, he did what he was supposed to do. And I'm still trying to figure out because I didn't hear the commentary and I haven't seen the fight back yet.
yeah.
But you know, I don't know why if you know Sean's father stopped the fight. You know, I
That's what I
couldn't
was
hear the
going to ask
commentary,
you.
so yeah, I don't know.
He stopped the fight because he said that his son basically didn't train good enough for the fight. So he saw like him making
I
mistakes.
can't believe that.
He saw him making mistakes, and he just thought, "Yep, towel in." Which
Yeah,
I just think that was a premature stoppage.
yeah. But you know, his son didn't seem didn't seem too worried that his dad stopped it.
He was at the time
Yeah,
when you saw Sean's reaction at the time. He was pissed when he turned
yeah,
around and saw that his dad had thrown a he literally did a beeline, walked around the ring, was like really pissed
right,
off. But by the time he did like the post fight presser, he
right,
seemed to be like, oh, my dad did the right thing. But his dad kind of threw him under the bus by, would you really
absolutely.
say, yeah, you can't really say at the end of the fight in the ring, why did you throw the towel in? Oh, because he basically wasn't turning up for training. He wasn't prepared for this fight. But you're the
Yeah,
trainer. So if he wasn't prepared, you've got to take the L as well. You can't just give it to
absolutely.
Sean.
No,
And that's why
absolutely.
everyone booed him.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
shouts out to Kenny Porter. No disrespect, but at the end of the day, this was a title fight. So you got to give, caution to the wind and like give your son like due credit. Like let him duke it out. Not saying let him
yeah,
get slaughtered and battered because that's not what was happening. Yes, he was getting caught with flush shots. Yes, he got dropped into it the same round, but he wasn't out of it.
right.
I've
You
seen,
know, but you know the thing about it is, you know, and like I said, I didn't hear what was going on, but at the same time, sometimes you, as a trainer, you have to put yourself in. You know your fighter better than he know
Yeah,
himself,
anyone. Yeah.
and maybe he just felt that Sean was starting to get hit too much,
Yeah.
and and then you want your fighter to live another day, you know, and
Mm.
so and they probably had already discussed that if he lost, that was going to be his last fight, you
Yeah.
know. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure that they discussed that already, and maybe the father thought that was going to really put him way behind on the scorecards, and it didn't make no sense for him to keep taking punishment that
He wasn't going to
you
win
know,
anyway.
yeah,
Yeah.
he wasn't going to win anyway. So,
Yeah.
and it didn't look like he was hurting Terrence Crawford at any point in the fight. So
Yeah.
why let him continue to take a beating? When I know this is going to be his last fight anyway.
It was
So
just like, yeah, I get it, but I've seen Porter dropped and win. He got dropped like well, they deemed it as not a knockdown. I think in the Ugas fight, one of them wasn't a knockdown, and then one was was a knockdown, and
right,
he won. He still
yeah,
won. Errol Spence, he got dropped, but he lost. But that was a very close fight. Without that knockdown, people
right,
had Sean up on the cards for that. Even I did. So, and
right,
even with the Bud fight, I had by the time that knockdown happened, I only had Bud up one round.
right.
Did you? So you haven't seen it? Have you seen it in its entirety, but just not with the sound? What did you have
Yes.
Bud up? What was the? How many rounds did you give Bud?
I think Bud, I thought he was winning the fight.
Mm-hmm.
I had him up, but I didn't have him up big. I only had him up for like a couple rounds. I
Mm,
mean, I really thought Sean was doing good.
me too.
Especially when he was putting the pressure. When he put the pressure, he was making Bud miss a lot,
Yeah,
and he was connecting with body shots and and head shots.
yeah.
So his right hand was really connecting. So, and I thought it was a real close fight, but again, you know,
Bud, he's gonna
yeah,
he's
yeah,
gonna win.
always in shape, always ready to go. Don't
Mm-hmm.
matter who it is,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the kind of fighter he is, and I'm sure they knew that. But the thing about it is, I didn't like when Sean's father said he didn't have a good camp or he wasn't ready.
Yeah, that's
I don't understand.
excuses.
Yeah, well, why wasn't he ready?
Yeah,
You know, it's
he
not
lives
like he did.
opposite you.
Yeah, it's not like he didn't have enough time to get ready. There's
Right.
got to be a reason why he wasn't. You didn't feel he was in the
He's
best
saying
shape of
that
his.
from Friday to Sunday, he didn't train. He would only train Monday to Thursday.
Yeah, but he got to give a reason. He got to understand. I mean, that's partly his problem too. Why
Exactly.
his son slash fighter wasn't ready for this fight. The
Yeah.
biggest fight of his career at this
Career.
time.
Yeah. So you shouldn't have thrown him on. At the end of the day, he lives opposite you. So if you didn't see him at the gym, yo, buddy, knock, 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 knock. Time to go to training, Sean.
That's
It's
right.
not like, yeah, it's not like. So what I'm saying is, just take the L as well.
Yeah,
You're a team.
absolutely.
You both lost. That's it. You shouldn't say,
Absolutely.
"Oh, my son didn't have a good camp." But why didn't he have a good camp? Like, what was the reason he didn't? If he had won, would you have said, "Oh, he didn't have a good camp"? You wouldn't have said that then.
No, he wouldn't have said anything.
Mm,
He probably would have said we had the best kid.
yeah, it's just I know the script from the fighters. I know it. It's the
That's right.
script. Oh, I was in the best shape of my life when I came into the ring. When they lose, they're like, "Oh, you know what? I had this injury. I had that." You're like, I thought you was in the best shape. Yes, yeah, I know it. 36 minutes ago, you was in the best shape of your life.
That's
36
right.
minutes later, you're in the post fight press conference saying that you had this injury and that. It's just like, okay, it's just whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, he shouldn't have thrown his son under the bus. Like, I don't know what the reason why he didn't have a good camp. I don't know who wasn't accessible. Like, I'm sure there was
But
a lot of
the thing about it was he was there every day, and
yeah,
he don't know why he didn't have a
yeah,
good camp.
yeah.
That don't make sense.
It doesn't. And he even sparred Tank in the last week to the lead up of the
Yes,
fight.
exactly.
So So I mean, you got people that you could fight, and even like big punchers that you could fight. Like to me, that sounded like you had quite a decent camp. I don't know who else you're sparring, but it's still on you as well. If you didn't have a good camp, you're the trainer. And then people saying, but he's the dad as well. So, that's why he threw in the towel. But you have to, I get it, but this is why father-son coaching, for me, it always ends up imploding. There's only a couple instances where Papachenko and Lomachenko, they're fine. But I mean, if you see the TO and all, it's just like there's a conflict of interest. You see your son getting beaten up, and you as a father, you just want to throw in the towel. Or do you understand? So it's just like, I just didn't get it, to be honest. I just couldn't work that out. Like, you absolutely took away like a dignified loss. He could have lost with dignity.
Oh, absolutely.
He was going to lose.
Again, he was definitely going to lose. But again, I don't know. Again,
I
just
another
thought it
puzzle
was
coach.
just watching with no sound was just, I don't know.
I love the fight.
What he was thinking about it. No,
Yeah.
it was a good fight up until the 10th round.
Yeah. And do you know what he said? Sean Porter said that wasn't the best Sean Porter of him fighting. In my opinion, coach, in my humble opinion, I think that was the best I've seen Sean Porter box. Because he chose to box when he needed to box.
Yes.
And he brawled when he needed to brawl. He is quite one-dimensional, but he still showed something different that I saw. Something different, definitely. He chose to box, and I think he boxed quite beautifully. And he caught Bud with a good few shots, and he made Bud miss. And the minute when Bud misses, southpaw mode activated, it's game over. So he only goes into southpaw mode when orthodox isn't working for him. So obviously Sean Porter made him that uncomfortable that he had to change the stance in the first place. So Sean Porter was having a lot of success, in my opinion.
Absolutely, in my opinion too.
Yeah.
He was doing great. I mean, like I said, I had the fight real close. I had Bud up, but and
I only had him up one round.
I just knew that, the last 3 rounds, I said,
Bud
man,
would take them.
Chann is going to pour it on him now. But again, he didn't, and Bud did.
Yeah. And do you think that, because I think, in my opinion, that Bud really fights better in southpaw?
Oh, I think without a doubt, he fights better in southpaw. I think if you look at all his victories, you'll see that he comes from the southpaw side.
Yes.
But, it's good for him to be able to fight both ways, and that's the thing. He haven't found anybody that can make him change anything. And so, and that's why I'm looking forward to him fighting Errol Spence, because I think Errol Spence, is going to be a hard, tough fight for both guys. They're going to be tough for each other.
Do you think?
Look, there's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. That it's going to be a tough fight. It's going to be tit for tat.
I think Errol gets stopped.
Both guys are really good. Oh, I don't think so.
We never thought Porter would really. People did think Porter would get stopped, and I thought that initially, and then I thought, no, he'll go the distance. But I think Errol gets stopped.
I don't think so, because think about Errol. Errol got pretty good defense too.
Yeah,
he's just not a one-dimensional fighter. He's not just a come forward kind of guy that just throw punches. Errol, he's a southpaw, but he's a technician, and he's a strong southpaw. He can punch with both hands. And he can do things that a lot of people didn't do against Bud. And Bud is definitely going to have to stay southpaw with Errol, because if he tries to go right-handed with Errol, he's going to be in a lot of trouble over there.
Do you think? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Fight southpaw to southpaw.
Oh yeah, I think that's going to be his best bet.
What about if he switch hits, just changes?
No, I think he's going to switch hit. He's going to switch hit. He has to, because he's going to see what works better for him, just like he did in this fight. You know, almost every fight he comes out as a righty. Then the second round,
he
then, you
finishes as
know,
a lefty. Yeah.
he finished as a lefty. And I
So
think
why don't just come out as a lefty? Just to
well,
get
I think he just want to see how he does.
yeah.
You know how he does. I mean, if he feels comfortable that he can win that way, I think he would stay that way. But I think he feels more comfortable as a southpaw because he gets his punches off. He rips his combinations better as a southpaw than he do as a right-hander.
Right. So you think Spence? Do you think so? If you did a pre prediction, you think who would you think would win that fight?
I don't know. I mean, right now, I don't know because you got to remember, Errol has been down. He before he
Man
fought
down.
before. I don't mean knocked down. I don't mean that.
Yeah.
He's been down in his
Yeah.
career because when he fought Garcia, he had the car wreck, right? Now when he's supposed to fight Manny Pacquiao, he had the detached retina,
Retina.
and look, he don't think he needs another fight before he fight, but I
He
think he do.
does. He better do.
And I think it'd be a big mistake on his part if he
Yep.
doesn't take another fight before he was to fight.
Yeah.
But look, Bud is sharp all the time. He's ready. He's active. And and Errol has been like having to sit back watching. He's been on the wrong side. He should be the one in the ring, not outside the ring watching.
Yeah.
He should be in the ring fighting. So, and I think it'd be a huge mistake for him to take this fight within the next 3-4 months, say, and not take another fight before then. And just me personally, as an ex-fighter and as a trainer, I'm just thinking he need to get himself together and don't go into such a tough fight without being completely 100% ready.
And do you think he's always wanted the Bud fight? Because it's always looked to me like he's evaded that as much as possible.
No, man. If you know Errol Spence, no, absolutely not.
Why? You tell me.
Look, it's just the powers that be. When you have different promoters, you have different networks.
Networks.
Not to say that it haven't happened before, because look, when I trained Mike Tyson when he fought Leonard Lewis, Leonard Lewis was with HBO, Mike Tyson was with Showtime.
Okay.
And they did a dual thing. But, I don't know if that fight is of that magnitude because, both guys are known, but I don't know if they know that well to where
Like
you could do a split network like
that.
And I don't know if the networks will want to do it, because it costs them a lot of money to put on those kind of shows. So, who's going to stick their neck out and say, well, you could do it over here, we could do it together.
We saw Fury and Wilder do it.
Yeah, we saw Fury and Wilder do it. But look at those guys. Those guys are, they're heavyweights. And heavyweights are different than, the smaller guys, unless you're like a Canelo.
Yeah. True. So in your opinion, Errol Spence would want the fight?
I don't know. I'm not saying Errol will win. I'm not saying Errol will win.
he would want the fight.
Right now, at this moment in time, I think Errol needs to take another fight before he fights Crawford. Because I don't think he can win right now. Because I don't think he would be as sharp.
Yeah.
People think it's just a training. No, it's more than just a training.
Yeah.
It's more to it than just training for a fight. You have to be mentally ready. You have to be sharp. You have to be everything. And I think Errol needs another fight before he fights Crawford.
Yeah. And also, what was I going to say with Errol? What did you think about him being at Bud's fight, but then leaving just as the towel got thrown in? Did you feel that? Did you see that as distasteful, or Did you see it as an
No, absolutely
opportunity
not.
that he could have called
Look,
out Bud?
here's the thing. You know, with anything or with anybody, I think you have to show respect in the sport.
Yeah,
And that's what the sport. Sometimes the sport lacks respect. And
yeah,
I think Errol said, you know what, this is his moment. Let him have his moment. He's supposed to have his moment. Why jump in and I mean, it would have been nice for him to go congratulate, say, hey, great fight, blah, 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 and then leave. That would have been good. Or wait till
mm,
he got in his dressing room to do that, you
hmm
know. But no, I mean, you don't steal another fighter's thunder. I
But
think,
even from the crowd, he could have said like from the crowd, like I'm next, like just even from the crowd, so the camera
well,
would have
but
picked that up.
he can't say he's next because he don't know if he's next. You know,
Yeah, but
he
like
might
that would
want it.
still
He
show
might
that he
want it.
wants
He
it.
might
Yeah,
want it next. He might want it next. But but it just can't happen next. You know.
mm,
But look, it's a good thing that these guys show up, and
yeah,
I mean, I think it shows that he shows everybody that I'm interested in this fight. This is why
yeah,
I'm here.
yeah,
And I think that was enough. I don't think you have to, go and steal a guy's thunder. You know, I mean,
yeah.
if you go back a little bit, right, and you look at Demetrius Andrade when
hmm
Canelo fought in Dallas, and he
Get the
stopped
fuck out of here, man.
exactly,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
because he felt this guy trying to steal his thunder. This
yeah,
is my night. Don't
yeah.
steal
That's what
my
he said.
night.
Yeah, this is
You
my
know,
night. Yeah,
yeah, absolutely. Don't steal
yeah,
my night.
yeah.
And I think, that's what Arrow, he didn't want to steal Crawford's night.
Right.
Let Crawford, this is his night.
Yeah,
Let him have all the fame and all the accolades and
yeah,
everything that goes with it. Let him
yeah.
have it. This is not my night. I was a spectator. And
Spectator.
as a
Yeah,
spectator, okay, now I'm gonna leave. And
yeah,
that's what he did.
yeah.
Look, you shouldn't, people shouldn't down him for that. He don't have to run up there and run up the stairs and try to say, "Hey, I want this fight," blah blah blah. Because you know what? He also knows that this is Crawford's last fight with Top Rank.
Mm-hmm.
And he don't know who Crawford is gonna go with
Gonna
next.
go with, yeah, if anybody. And do you think that Crawford beat Porter better than Spence beat Porter?
Absolutely. But you got to understand something. You got two different fighters, right? When you have two different fighters, everybody's not going to fight the same fight.
Mm-hmm.
Some people, some guys handle a certain style better than other guys
Than others.
handle it. But the thing about it a win is a win, no matter how you look at it.
Mm-hmm. But the thing is, even though, yeah, there's different styles, Bud has finished everybody the same way for the last 10 fights, stoppages. So
Absolutely,
if we haven't seen
absolutely,
Errol Spence do a stoppage for what, like 4 years, does that not show that Bud, doesn't matter what style, he's elite?
absolutely. Without a doubt, he's elite.
Mm,
He's definitely an elite fighter. You
mm.
can't take that away from him. You know, Look, I think, really and truly, I believe he's number two pound for pound in the sport of boxing right now.
Who's number
You
one?
know,
Canelo for you?
I think it's Canelo Alvarez. I think you
Yeah,
you have to give Canelo that, not for
yeah.
only being undisputed, but you look at the different weight divisions he's going to, and he's making history every time he fights. So I think because of that, you have to say that it's Canelo Alvarez.
But wouldn't you say that Bud is also, Bud was a three-weight world champ,
Yes,
undisputed at 140, twice lineal. Wouldn't that's similar to Canelo, isn't it not?
he's similar. He's similar in a lot of ways, but still, he's not the draw that Canelo is. He's not, you know, he just
What makes Canelo number one pound for pound over Bud?
because he goes up multiple weight divisions, not just one weight division. Like Bud, he went
Bud's done
from
three.
40 to 47.
No,
Well,
3.
30,
5.
35, 40, 47. You know,
Mm.
yeah, 3. But I mean, look at Canelo. I mean, he skipped over 2
Yeah.
weights and
He's
fought
like
at light
5, going
heavyweight.
to 5.
Then he
Yeah.
came back down to 54.
Yeah.
Then he went up to light heavyweight, came back down. Then he
Yeah.
went up to 60,
Yeah.
68.
Yeah.
Now he's going up to cruiserweight.
Loser.
That's a lot of divisions that he's skipping to do that. And and just because of that, I think, he's probably pound for pound the best fighter in the world.
Okay, so
You
let
can't
me
take away that from Crawford, though.
yeah, let me pose this then, because Canelo is able to go up that many weight cats because his frame
Yeah,
enables him to do so to a certain degree.
yeah,
Bud, it's like he could go to 54 and that would be the total cap that he could stay at.
yes, absolutely.
But Canelo was always a big guy. From when he fought, like at 47, he was weight
Oh,
drained. That wasn't
absolutely.
the. He's
And
always been a bigger guy.
yes, and that's what enables him to be able to go up, you know, and fight in those divisions. And that's the only reason that I'm picking him as my pound for pound
Yeah.
fighter.
And would
But
you?
I got Bud number 2 though.
Yeah. Would you, if say Bud gets undisputed at 47, would you then put him above Canelo as pound for pound because he's twice undisputed
Well,
and Canelo's one?
I think we have to see what Canelo does at cruiserweight first, because you got to understand, you're talking about skipping 75. You're talking about skipping 175 and then going up to cruiserweight, and you're talking about the weight difference. That's a big that's a big deal when
Yeah.
you skip that many pounds and go up like that. It's not easy to do that. And
No.
if he goes up there and wins, at cruiserweight, I think that makes him exceptional.
Yeah, it sure does. But I'm just wondering I'm not questioning your pound for pound because mine's the same as yours. I've still got Canelo as number 1. I'm just wondering that if Bud becomes twice undisputed, does and Canelo fights at cruiser and just gets a belt, but he's not
Right.
undisputed, doesn't that place Bud a higher accolade? He's twice undisputed, or
I
no?
mean, I don't think so. I don't think that
That
because
matters too
yeah, I
much.
don't think that matters. Because I just don't see that it matters.
Yeah, because he skipped
But
so many weight
yeah,
classes.
you
It's
know,
like,
you
yeah,
know,
phenomenal.
but here's my take on pound for pound. I ever since started pound for pound, I remember when I was training Street P Whitaker, and he was pound. They had him pound for pound, the best fighter in the world.
Who?
Did I?
Evander.
Pernell Whitaker.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely.
You know, and I remember when they started that, and and when they put Pernell Whitaker as pound for pound the best fighter in the world.
Yeah,
I mean, I thought he was. I mean, I thought he was one of the best fighters in the world. But I
yeah,
just thought there was so many good fighters at that time that, even Evander could have been pound for pound the best fighter in the world at the
yeah,
same
yeah. He's
time,
pound for pound,
you know.
definitely.
So I hate that moniker. I
Me
hate
too,
that,
because it's
because
subjective.
I
Yeah,
think it takes away from, all the fighters,
other
because
fighters. Yeah,
yeah, it takes away from them. And I just thought it was, from the very beginning, I thought that was a bad moniker to put on
yeah,
anybody, because,
and of course confusion and
yeah,
and
it
and
is. It caused
and
so much confusion.
contention and
Exactly.
frustration and
Exactly.
tension. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
And it's subjective. There's no like one rule. So it depends who you lean to. There's no like definitive rule of why someone's pound for pound in someone else's eyes, but not in another person's eyes.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. So it's always up for debate, continuous debate. But I do. But
Absolutely.
who do you have as number 3, coach, as pound for pound?
I don't know.
I got Usyk.
Yeah, well, Usyk is a good one. He's a good one. Or you could say Tyson Fury.
I never put heavyweights in my pound for pound unless they've come from another weight, like Evander. came from cruiser, so that's a different weight. Usyk,
absolutely.
I never put heavy. Some people do put heavyweights, but I don't include heavyweights because they haven't changed. Yeah, but you could put Tyson Fury.
You know, the thing about it is, it's just so many good fighters, man. That and even you know, I think we only put pound for pound the guys that we see on television. What
Yeah,
about all those guys that we don't never see?
don't see.
What about those guys? You know,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and that's the guys like even the smaller guys. You know, those guys have a lot of wins, and
Yep,
you know, and they
they're
fight.
they're
You
in
know,
Mexico
absolutely.
fighting and
Yeah,
that. Yeah,
Thailand.
yeah,
You know,
everywhere.
in Japan, and
Yep,
we don't see those guys. So,
right.
you know, how we know that those guys aren't pound for
Oh,
pound
pound for
the
pound.
best?
Yeah,
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 you know, if you
it's
don't
true.
see them, then people don't know about them, so people don't even talk about them.
About 'em. Yeah,
You know,
that's true.
and is that fair to them that they not considered, you know,
Yeah,
to be
that's true.
pound for pound? You know,
Yeah,
and that's the reason why I don't. You know, we only see certain fighters. And so between those fighters that we see, that's who we
yeah.
have to choose from
Choose from.
because we
Yeah,
don't know anybody else.
else. Yeah, so it's excluding people that could be
Absolutely.
in that list,
And,
but we don't see them.
and
So
that's why I think they should always take that moniker away and
they
say,
should.
you know,
Yeah,
pound for pound. Now you could do it in each weight division, you
that
know,
would
say,
be
hey,
good.
this guy is pound for pound in his weight division.
Right.
I can go with that, you know.
That's
But
a good one. Yeah, that's a
yeah,
point.
absolutely.
Yeah, yeah, that's a point. And in closing, I think I've covered. So we did Jamal, we did. I think I've covered all the. I think I've covered all the updates that I wanted to update with you, Coach. Like, is there anything that you wanna say or go
No, I'm
over?
just no, I'd rather just answer your questions.
No, but you could say whatever you know. Uncle Coach could say whatever he wants. There's no wrongs
Uh,
coming from you. You're
I
pound for
appreciate
pound trainer.
it.
You're my pound for pound of train. We're going to start a pound for pound of trainers. That's what we're going to do. Undisputed and pound for pound lineal trainers. They should do that. Definitely, they should do that.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
this is a
just
question. What about Hall of Famers? How do you
yeah,
feel about how the process of that?
you know what, you know, I know so many guys that I felt should have been in the Hall of Fame that's not there yet. Not to say that they won't get there, but
Yeah.
you know, you know, I mean, I don't know that process either. You
Neither
know,
do I. The criteria,
yeah,
it always changes.
yeah,
We never quite
yeah. I
mysterious
don't know.
criteria.
Yeah, I think they just pick who they want to and say, okay,
Popularity.
we'll put you. That's it. It's a popularity thing.
Yeah, yeah. And you're gonna be. Are you already Hall of Famer,
No,
Coach?
you know, what I did win was I won the World Boxing Hall of Fame Trainer of the Year.
Yes,
I won that award.
yes. You definitely have to be. You're definitely gonna be Hall of Famer, Coach. You have to. You have to be like Evander Holyfield. Yeah, you did a stint with Mike Tyson, but Evander Holyfield on his own is Hall of Fame. That's definite. If Evander Holyfield is the Hall of Famer, he's the Hall of Famer athlete because of the coach that trained him. So by
Well,
default, you should
actually,
be.
you know, George Benton was the one. I was
Yeah,
George's assistant doing that.
yeah. But
But
all
and
well, you all
George
should
Benton
be.
is definitely in
Yeah,
the Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame.
It's where he deserved to be.
Yeah,
Lou Dover, he was
yeah.
one of the best motivators in the sport. He's
Mm-hmm.
definitely in the Hall of Fame.
Manuel
So, you
Stewart
know,
was.
oh yeah, man, you
Is.
should also.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Interesting.
look, I think time tells and time will tell.
Yeah.
You know, one day maybe they will take a look at my career and say, hey, you know, we're gonna put this guy there. So,
They better,
but
otherwise they'll have Chann picketing. I'll start a picket like we want coach, we want coach. Yeah, they better to avoid me. They better.
uh,
Yeah, definitely. You have to give credit where it's bloody due, man. It's not that hard. Like, geez. And when you get put into the Hall of Fame, do you get do you get like a prize, like some money, or do you get like a trophy, or
hey, I don't know.
no?
I've
Yeah,
been to the Hall of Fame, you know,
yeah,
when George Benton got inducted, when Lou Dover got inducted,
Mm-hmm.
when Pernell Whitaker got inducted,
Mm-hmm.
when Holyfield got inducted. So I've
Mm-hmm.
been, but I don't
Yeah.
remember them getting
money or anything like
money
a
or anything like
bonus.
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. So
But
yeah,
I think just the recognition is enough.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
1,000,000%. A million.
Absolutely.
And just this one sneak, last question. Do you think Teofimo Lopez is undisputed?
Yeah, I mean, I think he got all the belts, don't he?
Except for the WBC, because Devin Haney has it.
No, I don't know. I thought he was undisputed.
No, that's the whole point. There's a dispute.
Well,
There's a
he's
dispute
not.
at
Well,
35.
if he don't have the WBC, he's definitely not undisputed.
Undisputed. Yeah.
Yeah,
See,
he's not.
that's it. Yeah, that's what I say.
Yeah,
He's not.
Yeah, he's
And if you
not.
want to be, you got to fight Haney to. If you get that belt, then you will be.
Absolutely. Then he will be. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely not.
Yeah.
If you don't have the WBC, he's not undisputed.
He's got the franchise. He's franchised as well. So it's not recognized with any other sanctioned bodies, only the WBC, which he doesn't even have. Just wild. Yeah. A dispute in undisputed. Yeah. So there's a dispute. So you can't be undisputed. Yeah. When there's a dispute. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Coach, you are the best in life, and I hope you come back, because I'd love to have you again and again and again and again and again. Everybody loves you, and I thank you so much for rocking with me, coming on my journey, being a part of my journey. It's amazing. Like, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me, and I'm definitely would want to come back on your show. Just just let me know.
As I always do, I will do.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. And have a happy Thanksgiving with your family.
And you too. And all your
friends. We don't celebrate it, but we'll celebrate it for you. Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm definitely going to have a happy Thanksgiving. Got a lot of family coming over. So
shouts out to them. Yeah. Shouts out to them from the UK. Thank you so much, Coach. Have a good night. And I'll speak to you soon.
And you as well.
See you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Guys, that was Coach Ronnie Shields. That's Uncle Coach Ronnie Shields. Only for me. He's my uncle. He's not yours. It's just mine. He's adopted me. We're doing the paperwork as we speak. And I'll get all the forms back in saying you are now Coach Shields. I'm the niece. So thank you so much for you guys for coming in and rocking with me. Lisa Bells, Merle Dixon, Lowe, Vice Versa Boxing, Secret Power Couple, Debo got it, Karma Serene, thank you so much, Queen. Lisa Bells again, Haplo, what up, Hap? Sorry, I didn't pay attention to the chat, because when I speak to Coach, it's just, I love the conversations, like love them. Zone. My guy, Zone 6 in the building. Boxing, pound for pound, Jack, JH, Darkness Has Fallen. Who else we got? Iceman, thank you for coming through. Donald Banks, thank you. And thank you for the super chat as well. Jedstar, my brother from another. And I will be signing out as I usually do. How you going this LadyChann? Well, I was supposed to say. Anyway, I'm gone. How you going this LadyChann rep nonetheless? Come box with Chann. Gyan. Ra. LadyChann. Fight.